How's my voice sound? Hey, Dad. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hope you're having a good day so far. As you could tell, I lost my voice a bit, so sorry about that. But hey, how you doing, Eric? Welcome to the live. Just waiting on Jordan to join in. I'll have him get in here. But Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope you're all enjoying the holidays so far. Having a good weekend and everything. Celebrating with your family. Big things coming in the new year. So there we go. Chat Jordan in there, so I'll throw him in here. But yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping in.
Hello.
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
I'm good, dude. How are you?
I'm good. Happy New Year's. And if anybody that was not here on our last live, Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry
Right.
Christmas, Happy New Year's.
Hopefully
So,
next year our lives and don't fall on Christmas and and New Year's again.
yeah. Next year we'll be live from Times Square,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, if you're new, if you haven't been before, or just so you guys know, so this is the weekly UniTrue Inside Scoop Live.
Oh my
We do
God.
it every single Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We bring on current students, talk about their experience, ask questions, answer questions, stuff like that. So this week, the theme is scholarships. So both students that we're having on, both guests, had scholarships for their university, help them pay for it. So all the questions will be regarding that, their experience, how you guys can get scholarships, how you can get paid assistance with college and stuff like that. So I won't wait any longer to get them in. So I'm gonna invite our guests in and get after it. So and at any point, if you guys have questions or things that you want to ask, just throw them in the comments, and we will ask our guests. So
And also I just thought of this, but if anybody ever has any suggestions of like themes that they want us to do, or anything of the such, you can either drop them in the comments here or send it to just DM us on Instagram and we'll get that done. So, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So Divine's here. I don't see Aisha just yet, but I'll invite Divine and take it from there.
I'm excited for people to hear about this because when Divine told me her story about the scholarships, it was absolutely unreal. But I won't steal any thunder. Hello,
Hello.
how
What's
are
up?
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to you and the family.
Merry Christmas and definitely Happy New Year's to the both of
Thank
you.
Thank you.
you so much.
So Divine, I could try to introduce you, but I feel like, what I'm saying, we can be here for a long time and everybody has the little New Year Eve plans. So, would you like to introduce yourselves before we get into it?
Okay, yeah, I can do a quick introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Divine Favor. I am a recent alumna of Penn State University, and I majored in security and risk analysis with a double major in analytical modeling. And yeah,
Wow.
and I also went to school on a full ride, so I think that's why I'm here.
Just about. Talk to us about that. I know obviously a bit of the story when it comes to that, but talk to us about your decision of what universities you wanted to go to, and then how you stumbled upon making that final decision for Penn State.
Okay. Prior to Penn State, I didn't fully know that's where I wanted to go. I just knew that I am gearing toward whatever school gives me the most financial aid. And initially, Penn State gave me like $5,000 in unsubsidized loans,
Hmm.
and that was a no for me. And I'm a strong believer of if you want something, definitely do your best to put yourself in a position where you can talk to people who change things and get to know you and just leverage your network. So once I got into Penn State, I was invited to a Women in Tech seminar, and I decided to go up there. I took the drive, and I got the opportunity to meet with a whole bunch of people within the College of Information Sciences and Technology. And straight up, I said, I love this school, but I cannot afford to go here. Is there something that we can do?
Mm-hmm.
And initially I had got a lot of like no's, like that's fine. But after some time, after continuously pressing, I went directly, I was in a room with the dean. This was in high school, the dean of information science and technology. And after he did his speech, I walked straight up to him and I introduced myself. I was like, hello, I am Divine Upayema. I technically go here and I would love to fully go here if you give me the money to go here. And I think, that all of it just kind of surprised him. And after that, he was like, well, we can see what we can do. And I was just like, okay, but that's not enough. Like, who can I actually talk to? What contacts can I figure out? Like, who is in charge of finances? Because oftentimes you'll call the financial aid office and they do not have the money that you are seeking. But most times, if you were to get into individual college, each college has their own like piggy bank of money that they're able to give out to students. So I think that's how I had gotten it. I had reached out and I was offered some scholarships, but I was also offered this. There's something called, well, my specific scholarship is called the Bunton Waller Fellowship, and it pays for tuition for all 4 years. And with that, I said, okay, that works. And then I went back to my college and said, there is a substantial gap here. Even though the money is a lot and I'm very thankful for it, there's still a very substantial gap. I made sure I was advocating for myself and asking the necessary questions, Googling and making sure every single time I spoke to someone, I got their name down. So in that next conversation, I have a point of referral to say, hey, I spoke to Susie in this office and it's actually credentialed. So I'm not just a student to just talking and not giving them actual facts and information that's valuable to them. So after I had gotten that scholarship, I had went back to my college and I had said, okay, so what can we do? And they said, okay, I'll make that up. Like, we'll make it up. We'll figure out what the gap was. And the gap every single year was $10,000. And I was offered the $10,000 in scholarship and I took it. And I think that the biggest takeaway from everything is truly advocate for yourself and remember that colleges are huge institutions and universities that have been around for decades and decades and decades, and they would not be standing if they didn't have anything to give you. So with that being said, do not leave them alone. Like, just ask continuously.
Yeah.
Continuously.
And every time you tell that story, I'm more and more astonished just because one, I don't think that enough people realize the fact that all you have to do is ask, right? And that's really like the first part of it. So I guess the next question that I have for you is, because a lot of people when they talk to me, they try, but they don't go to the extent that you went, right? So what kept you going? What kept you like? Because I can imagine that throughout that story there were times where you could have given up but you didn't, right?
Yes.
So what was it that really kept you going in terms of pursuing that?
I think one, faith, and then two, also seeing that slowly but gradually I'm moving forward and actually speaking to the people that I need to be speaking to. And also, I kind of decided when I was 15, 14 years old that I'm not paying for college. I had watched my older brother kind of go through that whole college loans, trying to figure out everything. And I decided, no, I was not having that. So even as a middle schooler, I was joining clubs that were geared towards colleges and like just getting more information. So I think, yeah, I just was like, no, like, even if you're, I think also, I don't like the answer no. So once I heard it, I was just like, that just means talk to somebody else. It's okay. I'll leave you alone. I'll just find somebody else to talk to. And also just kind of like trusting in the process, because I think once you actually get into a school, the fear of like, maybe I don't belong here, or maybe maybe I wasn't offered this financial aid packet because I didn't meet up with certain criteria. That's always in the back of your head. But then you have to remember, I got into this university. So I have every single right to ask for money and to just advocate for myself, and that's kind of what I did. And also with like, I had the opportunity to travel abroad to Germany through my college. I got everything paid for through them because I said, okay, I don't have the money for this. And oftentimes, like, colleges will say, okay, how much do you need? Always shoot high and above. Always, 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 always tell them you need $1 million. Like, and then they'll, be a bit more realistic and say, hey, that's not how much we have to give. And then, you can figure out how much they have to give
Mhm.
before you set a cap on yourself. So yeah, definitely.
That's awesome.
Um,
That's I think that it kind of goes into a theme that we've talked about a lot, which is like you said, like just
Mhm.
ask. Because, sorry, my voice is
No,
so
you're
messed.
fine. You're fine.
But it's literally because there's so much money that they have, and it's unallocated, and they
Yeah,
give it to people if they want to, and just because you were persistent and wouldn't take no as an answer and just kept pushing, like that's puts you so far ahead of everybody else who didn't do the same thing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
awesome. And also our other guest is here too now, so I'm gonna add Aisha in. But
Um, what was one thing I needed to say? Oh, also, sometimes if colleges don't have the money, there's donors. There's so many donors. I I had the opportunity to travel, and all I needed to do in return was write a thank you note to the donors that gave me the money. I never met them. I do not know what those people look like till this day, but just knowing that like every single university has an alumni base, so there's another avenue for more scholarships and more money.
yeah. No, 1,000%. I wish that especially like especially for international kids, it's a bit more difficult because you don't know as much as because you mentioned that like from middle school, this is something that you knew that you wanted to do. For a lot of like the international people that I know around me, this is not something that they even think about until they step foot on campus day
Right.
one and they're ready, right. So it's very, very, very important for them to just have access to that information beforehand. And a question that I was gonna ask, you answered already in the last thing that you had said, was what would be the one piece of advice that you would give to someone who thinks that they don't that they personally believe that there's no reason the university should give them any money, whether that be academics, whether that be extracurricular, whatever the case is. But you said it perfectly. You got into the university in the first place. So at the end of the day, all you got to do is just go. Mhm,
Yeah, definitely.
mhm. Um,
I have a question. So, is there a difference between, because like you got a full ride, right? And so once you started, you had a lot of things covered. But once you got to school, are there more resources that you can go after then as well, or does it pretty much just stop once you start school?
No, no, not necessarily. I mean, for me personally, once I had gotten to campus as a freshman, Penn State was just gigantic. So I had went immediately to my advisor's office and had said, I don't know if this is really your job, but I need some guidance in figuring out what to do and what programs or clubs or anything. So I really just leaned on like my college throughout that and realized that that's the first resource that I know, and then capitalize on it later with more people within the college. Hello.
Hi,
hello.
guys. Sorry, I was having so much trouble.
Oh no, oh, it's good to see you.
Yes, I'm excited to be here.
What's up, Aisha? It's nice to see you.
Hi, how are you guys?
Yeah.
Good,
Wait, what's
good.
your name?
Aisha.
Aisha, I'm Divine. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Divine.
So Aisha was actually we did a panel. I don't know if you guys saw on our Instagram way back, a couple months ago at this point, but we went up to upstate New York and did a panel for a high school that we're working with. And Aisha was one of the panelists who came on and spoke about her experience to the high school students, stuff like that. So we thought we'd bring her back. She was at it last time. So, but yeah, if you don't mind, just go ahead and introduce yourselves and we can go through.
Okay, my name is Aisha. I'm currently a nursing major. I graduate in May. Thank the Lord. Oh, goodness. It has been a really, really rough journey, but thank God I got through it. And uh, it's awesome too because we're talking about scholarships. And honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do it as efficiently as I was able to do it if I didn't get the scholarships that I did get.
So how did you go about getting, like, which scholarships did you have and how did you go about getting them?
So, with when you are so basically when you go to community college first before you go to your 4 year, a lot of community colleges would give you a full ride to their affiliated 4 year schools. So, but they don't tell you that. Luckily, my counselor in community college was actually my uncle. He married my mom's sister. So he told me that they were doing this. And I was like, oh my gosh, if you were not here, I would not have known.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you don't go straight into a 4 year, if you go to a 2 year first because you're undecided or financially it's easier, definitely ask the counselor what 4 year schools that they are affiliated with. And you can get a full ride from there. So that's how I got my full ride. All I had to do was be in good academic standing, which I think like me personally in Bloomfield College, I think the minimum, it could have even been lower than that. Could have been like a 2.7. I'm not sure. But I think as long as you're above a 3.0, you can keep your scholarship for the rest of the 2 years that you're there at the 4 year college. So yeah. And I also would want to include that Bloomfield College actually went through a merger with Montclair State University. So then that caused me to actually lose the scholarship because the community college was affiliated with Bloomfield, not Montclair. But luckily, I was like, just because I lost it and I didn't see it like on my financial like receipt summary, I wasn't gonna just be like, oh, well, there it goes. Like, no. Listen, I needed the money.
Nobody's paying my money back.
Yes. So I went there and I went to the financial aid office and I was like, I had this full scholarship. You guys were paying for everything. And because of the merger, I don't see it on my account anymore. Is there anything that you can do? Is there somebody I can talk to? And thankfully, they put it right back on there.
Wow.
They just had it under like a different name. So they just gave me something different, but they made sure I still had it. So sometimes things like that happen and you really, really, really need to advocate for yourself because it's not their education. So they're not going to care to, you know, make sure you're going for free. That's worse on them because they're not going to be paid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to advocate for yourself because nobody else will the way that you can.
That's amazing. I don't even know if you were here when Devon was talking, but she was telling me the exact same thing about advocating for yourself. It's the only way that get done. Man, I swear to God, if I listen to excellent women like y'all, I would have been able to. It just would have been so much easier. Not only, and even though, like, you know, God bless, like my parents took care of it. It just would have helped them out, you know. Like in essence, there's so much. Like they're older. They that's their money. They deserve to go do whatever they want to do with that money, right? You know. So that's just amazing. I'm very, very, very proud of both of you, and very blessed that you're being able to share this on a platform like this.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
What?
Oh, and that reminds me. Sorry. Did you say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
That reminds me, I actually did get one more scholarship this year, but because my college is already paid for, I got it to go straight to my account, like my bank account. So that's another thing that I would like to tell. Like,
oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
So
like
you too, Divine.
Refund checks paid for my whole apartment, like everything. Yeah.
rent paid in advance.
Rent
They're
paid,
paying
groceries
you.
paid, like,
Yes.
everything. Yeah, because to a certain extent, at some point, it's a surplus. So it just goes right back to your pocket.
Which is amazing. Like, so that's another thing I would tell, because I didn't know, honestly. I was really close to one of our professors and the secretary, and they came across this scholarship and they recommended me. So I didn't really even do the work, honestly. It really like just blessed me one day, like in my email. So I feel like it's really important to
Took
also
mine
tell.
and went to Miami. Y'all are very No, I definitely should have done one trip or something.
Ah, John, so that's how the Miami trip was planned. Okay. No, I'm starting to put pieces together over here.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I really am like, even if you do get scholarships and it covers, keep applying, because if for example, if your bill is 14,000 and you get 14,000, if you apply for another scholarship for like another $3,000,
Going straight.
the $3,000 will go into your bank account, because it'll go to the school, and because all of your bills are paid, it'll be refunded into your account, like personal account. So guys, there's free money out here. Come on.
I wish I knew
Bro,
that.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm so sad right now.
So is that like any scholarship? It doesn't have to be a special type of scholarship or anything.
It can be anything. Like, for example, for mine, it was specifically for like people going into nursing school.
Uh-huh.
So it was 7,500. So I'm like, 7,500 all in my account. I could have made money faster.
All day. Yeah.
Yeah, even Daryl, my little brother, was just like, I might have to tap in. I was about to tell him right after this that you have to tap in.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Guys, it's free money. I know. And a good tip is when you do the scholarships, I know a lot of times they have like the requirements of like doing an essay or whatever. Sometimes if you do the essay and just keep it, you can like just change things around and resend it to another scholarship, like, you know. So it's not like you have to redo an essay every single time.
Yeah, and oftentimes, like, at some point, I think, what was it, like my sophomore year, winter break, I just kind of went on a scholarship rampage. I just started applying for just more, because why not? And it just wasn't as hard as like people try to make it seem. Oftentimes, like, it'll ask you to write like an excerpt of 250 words describing something, and oftentimes people don't realize this money goes unclaimed, like, a lot. It just floats into air, so you might as well just catch it.
So taking a small step
Mhm.
back. So the time that like we were speaking, or I was speaking to some students once, and they kind of took a step back and they're like, so what is a scholarship? And that kind of blew my mind a little bit, because after going through college, it's such a big deal, and you know, it's in your face all the time. But taking a step back to realize that some people don't even understand, you know, what a scholarship is in the first place, how you find them, how you apply, and what they do once you get one. So do you guys mind just explaining that a little bit? Like, what is a scholarship, and how do you find them, and how do they work?
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a scholarship is a lump sum of money that you can either be awarded through like academic work and what's the word? Through merit, which is like your grades, your extracurriculars, or anything like that. And sometimes scholarships are just essays, but in the most simplest form, a scholarship is just a lump sum of money that is allocated to you to use toward your education, broaden it out toward your business or anything like that. But right now, since we're talking about university, towards your education. And the way you claim it is there's an application process. And in the application process, they ask for just your information, like your name, your last name, your address, all the important things that they need to track you down once that scholarship deadline has passed. Yes, scholarships do have deadlines. The bigger ones usually have earlier deadlines, closer to like November, December, but there's also scholarships that don't have deadlines ever, and they just constantly are just giving it out or on a rolling basis. And usually in a scholarship application, there's requirements, there's deadlines, there's things that you like, everything that you need, all the information is there. But that's for if you're applying to a scholarship. If you are awarded a scholarship, 9 times out of 10, you meet the criteria that's already been created for you to be awarded that scholarship. But yeah, and you don't have to pay scholarships back.
That's a good point to add, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a very good point to add, that you don't have to pay scholarships back. I think that that gets really confused and people get scared because student loans is already a lot. You know, everybody in America, like, let's say like 80% struggle with student loans, and like it's a big, big issue. So, yeah, you don't have to pay scholarships back. Like piggybacking off what she said, it's definitely just like organizations or whatever that allocate money to support students through school. So there's some, and there's a lot of different kinds. Like, for example, there's a lot for minorities. There's a lot for certain majors. There's a lot for different like if you were in different like organizations or like community service things like so you can really find a niche to like I guess better your chances because there will be less people like applying for that same scholarship. But like she said also, like a lot of it goes unclaimed, so it's better to just apply, maybe do one every couple weeks, you know. And where you can find it, like I said, I found one through my actual school. So sometimes going to like your professors or like the director, the chairperson, ask them what they have. TikTok, you can go on TikTok and
100%, yes.
go on the search thing and
Check
just
those
put
out.
scholarships I should apply for, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, all the TikTok girlies and boys will put you on. And, or you can just Google it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. Really, it is everywhere. You just have to put yourself out there and apply.
So
Yeah.
I guess for me, the one question that I would like to answer, because you know, obviously the biggest part of what we're trying to do is put high school students on so that they're prepared as much as possible going into university. If you had to give one piece of advice to get ahead, right, to a high schooler, or maybe, you know, the younger version of yourselves, what would that be? In order to like, what steps could they take now as they're finishing up their senior year to prepare themselves to have that smooth transition into a potential scholarship going into university? I know
I
that
would
was
say,
long-winded. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. I would say do it even if you're scared. Like, do it scared, do it confused, do it without any sense of direction. Just do it. Like, and I think that's the biggest step because oftentimes, like, this topic is so daunting. Finance is daunting when it comes to realizing that college needs to be paid for, and sometimes it's not by you, and having those conversations with parents. It's also daunting. But I think just taking the initiative to start is what gets the momentum and the ball rolling on everything because that one Google search of like scholarships online and you see something that will pique your interest because then you realize, oh, all I have to do is just maybe talk about a passion of mine or something that I find interesting or cool or a life lesson or X, Y, and Z. And then with ChatGPT, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? I'm thinking about I might go ahead and start applying for more now just because like I don't have to think so much anymore
Yeah.
and there's just like so much information, but just do it and just start even with your lack of information because oftentimes like the information is just a lot and it's daunting and trying to find that starting point you may never find it if you're looking that hard like so yeah.
Thank you.
I would say, I mean, I think for me personally, like if I would talk to my younger self, it's definitely about the deadlines. I don't think I was that organized when I was younger, and I would be like, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do it and stuff like that. And scholarships do have deadlines. So, you know, it would pass, and I'm like, ah, man. Like, you know, shoot, I missed it. And then
Yeah.
that's it. So I think that maybe like once you do your Google search and you like find a few scholarships and just be very organized about it, maybe you can get a few that has similar prompts so you don't have to rewrite like a million different types of essays and like uh, write out the deadline and really pace yourself to get all of these through, I think that that would help really, really, really good. Um, what else would I say? If you want, you can do like, you know, extracurricular activities that would boost that resume to be like, you know, more competitive for one of those bigger scholarships and more well-known scholarships and stuff like that. But my advice would be really find your niche. Like if you are going into engineering or business, or, you know, try to find scholarships that really help you with that. I see somebody in the comments said that there's an app that matches students to the scholarship. So I think that's a good way to find your niche when you're looking for scholarships. So yeah, I think those are the two things I would say. Really try to hit those deadlines before they pass you
Well,
by,
they hit.
and get get scholarships that like really would make you look like the best pick.
Oh, and also don't be afraid to apply for a $500 or a $200 scholarship. You're probably going to get it because oftentimes those scholarships aren't taken as seriously. There's not that many people applying, and you don't realize how much that, you know, stacks up and adds after a while. So definitely apply for the smaller ones as well. I know UniTrue is definitely geared toward international students, so I took the time to like look for international student resources for scholarships, and internationalstudent.com is one, and then also Foreign Fulbright program is one for international students. So I'm gonna put that in
Did you
the
see what
You did
Wow.
her homework. Yes.
see what I love you? You're like, I
yeah. So this that, but yeah. What else?
guess another question that I have, right, is were you guys ever rejected from any scholarships?
Absolutely,
You said
Um,
absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
Mm,
Instead of getting sad, I had to be like, I don't want your money anyways, and then I had
that's
and then I just applied for more. But
uh,
there, I think just the times where like you got the no, you have to take like you have to also realize that you didn't really lose anything. Like you
yeah.
never had that money in the first place, so you're not really losing much. You just keep on going.
I love that. I love that.
no, I never got rejected from a scholarship, but that's mostly because I didn't do too many, because the two that I got like covered everything.
Okay. But it's good though. So, because I love, you know, again, we're always about the unfiltered perspective, and knowing that, you know, both of you are going through college through scholarships, and one never got rejected, and the other one got rejected but said I never had that money anyways and kept pushing. That's beautiful. It just shows you that you truly never know what's gonna happen, whether that you know get yeses all the way, or if you get nos, you just gotta keep pushing. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
One thing I want to mention or bring up as a resource I think people can do, and I'm curious if you guys did it, but work study. Did you guys have any work study jobs? Or if not, you know, why, or what was your relationship with that?
During
Yeah.
college. Um, I think when applying, I had checked off like, yeah, sure, work study, like I can do that.
Yeah.
And I did end up working for one semester during college. Mm-mm, it wasn't for me. It was just a lot. Like I had to think like 21 credits, and I was working, so it was just excessive. But if you have the space in your schedule and you can balance the workload, definitely do it.
Mhm.
Definitely do it.
Um, so yeah, I also checked off work study when I was doing my FAFSA. I personally didn't go through with it, but I did benefit from somebody who did, because one of my roommates was doing work study. He's an international student and he was coming from Ghana, so he did work study because he couldn't like work outside. And he made sure I ate every day because he was working at the calf and they give them free food. So
There you go.
Okay.
I'm like, if you do work study and if you're in the right place, you can really benefit from it, because we didn't have to worry about food, which actually adds up. Like, you don't like living on your own and not having somebody to like make your plate every day. Like, it's finding food, and then DoorDash is expensive all the time. So the work study in the CAF helped out. Also, I had another friend that did work study in the library, and because nursing is really difficult, that really helped her be able to study. So instead, she was making money while getting ahead. So she did great on all her exams, which in nursing, you need to have a 80% minimum to pass. So that really, really helped her. I
Damn.
know. I know. It's really horrible.
Shout out to
That's
all the
really, really bad,
nurses.
I'm telling you.
I guess that makes me feel better.
So,
Yeah.
so work study, I have seen helped a lot of people. Me personally, it didn't help me too much. I didn't really try because when I saw the rate, it's usually like depending on the school, sometimes it's the minimum wage of your state, but other times like the good schools like usually pay a little bit more. I know I have a friend that went to Stanford and he was making like what $20 an hour doing work study, which is really nice.
That's
I mean,
really decent.
I know that's decent money. Like that's getting a real regular outside job. But Stanford is a nice school, so they were probably yeah. So
I indeed was getting paid $11 at Penn State, y'all. I'm keeping it so real.
Y'all want to get paid? Don't go to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Y'all want to get paid?
Don't go to Pennsylvania.
Not go to Pennsylvania.
Please.
No.
Yeah. So I had to pay rent, so I had to work outside, and I worked in my field, so it'll give me a better chance when I graduate.
Amazing. Now, look, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I could try to keep asking questions, but y'all gave us way more. Like it was, I had an expectation about what this life was gonna look like, and y'all knocked it out of the park. And so, obviously we all know that it's New Year's Eve, and I appreciate y'all so much, for coming out, taking the time of your beautiful day, to be able to share and drop some knowledge on all of us. I'm so excited to be able to. For those of you who don't know, Eric and I started talking about, bro, what you mean I'm tired? I got home at 5 a.m., bro. Stop airing my shit out. This guy, no, but for those of you who don't know, we want to start posting like these lives on YouTube as well, so that we can what's it called? Like
We've already started.
Oh, nice. I guess not up to date. But that's okay.
Message, you gotta check your text, bro.
Yeah, man. It's been bad. I'll shut up. I appreciate y'all so much.
Go to _Unitrue on YouTube. We're posting all the lives, and we'll be posting clips and stuff like that too.
Okay.
But like Jordan said, I mean, you pretty much answered everything we could have possibly asked. I guess the one, and like it doesn't have to be a lot, but the one last question I would ask is just for the students going through this process right now who may have missed the initial round of applications, they might not have known about it. What's just one piece of advice you would give them what to do right now going into spring semester? And how would you, if you were in their shoes, what would you do? And then we can just end it on that.
Keep applying. There's always scholarships around. It doesn't really matter what time of year you're doing it. And, even if you miss that one that you're looking at, there's way, way, way more out there. There's so many, and like alumni's, like grant scholarships and things like that. Like there are plenty. Just keep applying. And hopefully you get it, and you have an easy year. College is really important, and I really am like an advocate for going to college. That's why I love coming onto these panels.
My first piece of advice would be breathe. Like you're fine. Don't get stressed out because of the past deadlines. Oh my God, I forgot your name. I'm so sorry, girl. I forgot your name. I wanted to like directly refer to you, but you had mentioned earlier that that organization is a really, really big thing. So now knowing that like all these opportunities are out here and there's deadlines and they're serious, take some time to breathe, but then gradually create a plan of maybe how many scholarships that you want to apply to before the next year, or in the next couple of months. It's 2024, new year, new everyone, y'all. Create some plans, create some goals, all of those things to make sure that you're actually striving for the things that you say you want. And then also remember, even if you don't do it now, you can apply for scholarships while in your first freshman year of college, second year of college, third year of college, fourth year. There's no deadline at all. Like, there's no stopping. So just remember that and give yourself grace in this whole process and move forward and believe in yourself, please, because you might receive a lot of no's and it might be discouraging. So just believe in yourself and keep on hunting for the money.
That was beautiful. Wow, you guys killed. This was a great live. I appreciate all the things that you guys have. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, we have these every week, and there's a different theme every week, and this one was obviously scholarships. So I can't imagine if anyone had any questions about scholarships, they would come away from this with those still left unanswered. So that's all we could really ask for, I guess. So thank you guys so.
And Eric, you guys have to pay somebody's tuition.
Yeah. I don't know what Anuj is talking about. You have all this game now. Go apply. Scholarships out there.
We cannot afford what these donors are gonna give you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe in a few more years, come back.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few more years, UniTrue will be giving out the scholarship.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
There we go.
Love that.
Somebody.
I love that. The
Well,
UniTrue,
yeah.
I see it, and you heard it here first, huh? The UniTrue scholarship. I love that.
All right. To everyone but Anuj. He cannot apply. Oh, man. Well, thank you guys so much. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, we have the lives. And we just bring on amazing students like Divine and Aisha to talk about their experiences, give that advice and all that stuff. So happy New Year's, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and your weekend and everything like that. Thank you guys so much for taking some time to come on here and give all that advice. Yeah. See you guys later.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.